It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast. With Kyle.
How old's Evelyn? 6, 7?
Yeah, 3.
Oh, good gosh, 3. Who'd have thought? And another one.
Should be pretty easy. Literally 1 year younger than your son.
Oh, how about that? And the other one, he's what now, 2?
He is 4.5 months, almost 5 months.
God's sakes, he's not even walking yet. Jesus.
Any minute.
And Steve.
So you have 3 replies out there. Now this is
now Brooke and I have a dialogue going now.
So Brooke is replying to you. Are you going to feel bad if something happens?
No. Absolutely not. Take no prisoners.
Live on tape from APS 3 point whatever, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Is it already that time of year?
It sneaks up on you. Oof, my goodness.
All right. Well, here we go.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi.
Nobody calls it that once
Never,
again.
never once. The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. The good shipping crew was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin.
Not even a name.
As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and a captain well seasoned. Including some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling?
Yes. Whew. 6 years in, I think we finally
This is the best
finally
one yet.
nailed it. Yeah. Here we go.
The wind in the wires made a tattletale sound when the waves broke over the railing. And every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing. The dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait when the gales of November came slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind. There's some real chef propaganda there.
Yeah, I know.
Breakfast had to wait.
Yeah. Couldn't possibly make the beans.
How can I make a bagel in these winds? When supper time came, the old cook came on deck, saying, fellas, it's too rough to feed ya.
Scapegoat.
At 7 p.m. a main hatchway caved in. He said, fellas, it's been good to know ya.
The
Captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night, when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
You think they had any indication that this was going to be a banger of a song?
Oh man, when they're going down, they're like, I can't wait to be a hit in like 5 years from some old man. Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? The The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her.
I can measure too.
Real easy in hindsight. They
They
might
might have split up, or they might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water.
It's a lot of maze and might.
And all that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters.
So basically, they have no idea what happened.
Not a clue in the world,
A lot of, could have been this.
but they can all just point and say they were 15 miles away.
Yeah, Whitefish Bay.
Useful.
You can probably see it over the horizon.
Lake Huron rolls, Superior sings in the rooms of her ice water mansion.
I love that line.
That's a good one.
Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen.
Doesn't really rhyme. That's all right, though.
And farther below, Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her.
I need like a geology thing here.
And the iron boats go, as the mariners all know, with the gales of November, remember?
That one got me. Bring it home, Gordo.
I think on stage right here, Gordo's just shredding.
Yeah. Like a foot up on the monitor speaker. Just wailing.
Hair, eyes fully closed, hair rocket over his head.
As the drummer just continues hitting the one snare. Okay.
Really
In a
needs to
rustic
Old hall in Detroit, they prayed in the Maritime Sailors Cathedral. The church bell chimed till it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. The legend lives on from the Chippewa down of the big lake they call Gitchigumi.
Not one person ever.
hundreds of years.
Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early.
How much longer is this?
It is a 7-minute song.
30 seconds
Oh,
left.
6.5. I pared it down.
Is that it? Did we do it?
That's it, Steve. It's
so.
just the... it's what songs are missing nowadays.
The long fade.
The long fade.
The long fade. Oh, happy November. I mean, I guess we could have done this at the beginning of November, which would have been last week's episode.
Yeah, we
but,
like to get it
you know,
as close to the anniversary as
Yeah.
possible. So
we're just days away, moments away, depending on when you're listening to this, to the anniversary.
Yep.
The Big 4-7, they call it.
that's when everybody...
The Big 4-7.
Yep, that's when all the celebrations come out. That
God, it
is...
feels good to do that once a year.
It really does.
You know, it's
I
like
letting it loose a little bit.
It's like when you go back to the gym when you haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah.
You're using those muscles that you haven't used in maybe 6 months or a year. Whew.
I would guess that was probably our third best effort.
Top 3.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
all right.
That's medal stand for us, I think.
Mhm. Yeah.
Always
Look
a
at that,
joy.
we're already-
I always notice some
Already
new
9 minutes in, too. Just do this every week.
I always notice something new. And while singing this year, I had the thought in my brain that, do you think Gordo finished the song, sent it along to whoever, and then the family's got it to know it's coming and whatever. And that chef's family,
It's like, son of a bitch.
they either were upset or he wasn't mentioned enough. So Gordo either took exception or left it in, those references to him, because I have to tell you, in a song or a story about a shipwreck with 29 lives lost, there are more references to the chef than the captain.
I think that the chef's family should be pretty happy. He was he was a standout in that song.
Are we the spearhead on the anti-cook campaign?
Probably. Maybe
Because
throw that on the poll.
I think that guy was the scummiest of dirtbags on that boat.
It, as we've talked about in years past, it seems like he was just looking for any reason
Yes.
to knock it out of his rack that day.
Honestly, toast. Like, what are we talking about here? If it's really wavy, the guys could have a muffin. But you're like, I'm sorry, gang. Back to the bunk for me. Yeah. I'm real sleepy and it's real wavy.
Yeah. P.S. We're all going to die.
Yeah. And then, so according to the song, which I know we all take as the gospel, he went and hunkered back down in his bunk until it looked like it was over. Mm-hmm. And then he popped open the hatch. That's the only way I think of it is that hatch. Everybody holding on to rails. They're, trying to hang on for dear life, literally. And then the hatch opens up and the head of a cook with the large white hat.
Right. No doubt. Nickname Cookie.
Yep. Hey, guys. Not going to be able to feed you tonight. And then slams the hatch shut again.
A couple hours later, pops it open again. Been nice to know you.
Yeah, exactly. This guy gets 3 mentions in this song. The poor captain of the boat, fighting upwards of 20-foot waves, gets like 1.
Yeah. Huh.
I would love to know from anybody, member of the family, because at this point, it's been 47 years. Mm-hmm. At this point, the kids, I mean, they might be old, but if one of the kids was 13,
yeah,
they're 60.
Yeah.
That's not that. Mm-hmm. That's not that crazy to think.
No.
I want to know who they blame. Is there a collective Facebook group of Eddie Fitz survivors?
Look, it takes.
We all know the actual descendants of.
All it takes is that one negative opinion to bring the whole ship down.
Yes.
If he had popped his head out and said, "Fellas, I think we can make it through this."
Yeah. Yep.
Who knows what the outcome would be? There wouldn't be this song.
No.
I'll tell you that much.
I have to tell you, if there was one Tony Robbins on that boat, just one.
Just one. That's all it takes.
I think we're talking to the survivors.
Yeah.
Of this
voyage. We're celebrating this for a whole different reason.
Well, I also have to tell you, Cleveland has 26,000 tons of iron ore that they don't have.
That's true.
There's probably some.
That could have been that was the beginning of the downfall for Cleveland. The great iron ore shortage of 70 whatever, 75.
There are still families talking about how cold they were. The winter of 75 because one chef couldn't cook a bagel.
Allegedly.
There are a lot of theories. Like you said, I think the bigger thing I had learned, and I know we've talked about this in the past, I guess I never realized that they honestly have never figured out what happened.
Right. There's theories that the boat actually split in half.
Yes. There are...
It might have broke up or it might have capsized, I believe, are the...
That's... listen, and if there's one theories. Person I'm going to trust,
it's Gordo.
Yeah. There are 6 listed reasons on Wikipedia, and I used to do this...
Jesus Christ, I've only known 2? All right. Well, hold on. It's time to give me the facts here.
Well, the first one is almost a combo of the 2 you already know.
Okay.
Waves and weather.
All right.
And in 2005, the National Weather Service ran a computer simulation. What's stunning to me is that we have essentially perfect 3D animations of what happened to the Titanic in the 1910s.
Yep.
Right? We know exactly how it went down, where all the pieces went, everything. And that's in the middle of the ocean 110 years ago.
Yeah.
This boat went down in 500 feet of water in a lake in the 70s.
Right.
And either people don't care enough to fully get the reason.
It's disappointing. It's disrespectful. Disrespectful to the souls of the 29.
Simulation showed 2 separate areas of high wind appeared over Lake Superior at 4 p.m. on November 10. The Eddie Fitz sank at the eastern edge of a high wind, et cetera, so producing significant waves averaging over 23 and 25 feet.
Oof. Again,
that is...
How do we know this?
That is Bering Sea, middle of the ocean type waves there. So that is the first hypothesis. Another ship reported northwest winds of 57 miles an hour, matching the simulation analysis. So we have wind and waves as one option. We have the rogue wave hypothesis.
Sure.
Which is
heard that.
Horrifying if you like being on the water.
So you're just floating around and all of a sudden, bam!
Yeah.
60-foot wave hits you.
Yep. And that's the way they work. A group of 3 rogue waves, often called the Three Sisters, was reported in the vicinity at the time she sank.
Never heard of this.
Said to occur on Lake Superior as a result of a sequence of 3 rogue waves forming that are 1/3 larger than normal waves.
Okay.
So the first wave puts too much water on the deck, and it's unable to fully drain before the second one hits. And then the third one adds to the 2 accumulated and it overloads the deck.
Okay.
And next thing you
Give
know,
me
you
more.
sink.
Give me more.
That's the rogue wave hypothesis in 2010. Dive detectives used a wave generating tank to see if that was possible, and they said it could almost have completely submerged the stern or the bow of the ship,
Bummer.
at least temporarily. So the rogue wave theory is one. The cargo hold flooding hypothesis, which I'm guessing that would just be, I'm not going to read all these details, where
Water got in the boat.
There we go. I don't think we need 5 paragraphs. Thanks a lot. The shoaling theory.
Oh!
Shoaling or grounding near Caribou Island when it was unknowingly raked a reef during the time.
I'm just going to be over here.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
We'll reveal shortly what I'm feasting on right now.
So the possible that it hit the ground near an island and then floated back out to sea and sank. Lake. Do you still call it the sea if it's a lake?
No.
What do you call it? Like, float out to sea. What do you call it? Float out to lake?
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't sound right, does it?
Well, not many people use it.
And one is structural failure, an already weakened structure, and modification of a winter line, which allows heavier loading and travel, made it possible for large waves to cause a stress fracture in the hull and snap it. Whew. That was supported by testimony of former crewmen. So there were some lucky souls in the early 70s who got off of that death trap.
Saw the writing on the wall.
Well, yeah, they talked to the cook. And they said, I'd gone way too many mealless...
Hey, Cookie.
I'd gone way too many...
How the waves look.
...lunchless days on that stupid boat that I thought, I'll do anything else. I'll go log trees. I'll go, factory. Go to the shipyard.
Yeah. Watch
those poor idiots go out there hungry. And in this case, never come back. And last theory is topside damage is a reasonable alternative reason. Damage to the fence rails and vents possibly caused by a heavy floating object such as a log. I'm willing to write that one off. That would have to be a very large log. Like to tell me that this boat, which had gone through winters, summers, springs on these lakes for years, yet one phantom tree limb pops a vent. And that's what did it.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one.
No, me neither.
That's embarrassing.
This is Wikipedia. I think we could add the newest...
The cook sabotaged it?
The hungry sailor theory. And we have made no qualms about what we think the hungry sailor theory is.
Right.
That ship was a ramshackle operation.
Look, if you're going to tell me that
28 hungry people and one cook.
Yeah.
Tell me he wasn't eating, Steve. Tell me he wasn't eating.
If you're going to tell me that a log took down the ship,
obviously,
then our theory is not that far-fetched.
Yeah, I'll put it on a poll. What was more likely to have taken down the Eddie Fitz? A log or a rogue cook?
Well, there it is. It's our yearly breakdown. Tribute, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, this is always fascinating. I believe last year there was the video my UP Chris had sent us, and I showed it to you about, because it's so cold up there that you can, when you dive down there, you can, the bodies are there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, obviously, it's not like you can see, oh, hey, that's Bill. You can still see, though, legend says, the white floating chef's hat.
Yeah. Wooden spoon in one hand.
Yep. Grilled cheese in the other, still in his mouth. Because he ate.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Looking real full.
I'm telling you for certain. 28 hungry people died that day.
Yeah, you go down and you pull those bodies up. 28 of them have empty stomachs.
And 29 is going to be like a goat's belly. Okay? A tin can. A spoon.
Yep.
Beer. That guy was living the life. But as always, our condolences to the family.
R.I.P.
Of 28 people. 29th, your ancestor was a coward.
All right. So we're prepping for a big day here at the Steve and Kyle podcast. We don't get out into the public often. I'm
so nervous.
We don't shake hands and kiss babies very often, or kiss hands and shake babies, whatever you want to say. Mm-hmm. But we're doing that in just a matter of weeks.
I'm so nervous.
Should we? I mean, we need to talk about. I need to know what your feeling was when on Monday, which was Halloween, you received a text from me. Mm-hmm. Very cryptic.
Yeah.
I need to know, were you excited? Did you jump out of your chair? Did you say, "Ha, it's happening"? What were the thoughts that were running through your mind when I sent you the cryptic text that we had talked about for months, that I said I was going to send when I was on my way to your house behind the wheel of a 1988 Jeep Comanche Pioneer? Mm-hmm. Were you shocked that literally rubber had finally met the road?
No, I wasn't shocked, and I think not that you had let anything leak, but there's a video from a few weeks ago or a month ago at this point on the Second Chance Jeeps page, which again I don't follow, not a fan.
No.
Of you driving it around, sitting on a bucket, I believe.
Oh yeah, that was months ago.
Okay,
that was early in the summer, I think, maybe June.
And you had either told me or insinuated, or I had known that this thing was, at the bare minimum, semi-operational.
Yeah.
Okay. But was I still a bit shocked because we were mid-conversation about maybe even parade prep or something else?
About something else.
And you had sent you shot the flare into the sky.
Yeah, I forget what the exact word.
I believe it was something Foxtrot Nightwing.
Tango Foxtrot Nightwing.
That might have been it. And
so what were you honestly doing? So you were sitting at...
I was working. I was in the basement.
Right.
Yep. Sitting, working away in the basement.
Deny.
Yep. Telling people, sorry about your luck, better luck next time. Mm. And I got that text, and I had to go bring some trash out to the trash can. So I thought, at that point, I did not think it was legitimate. Hmm. So I walk upstairs, I bring the trash out to the trash can, I have my slippers on, because it gets a little cold in the basement,
sure.
Down in the trenches.
Yeah. I mean, when was the last time you actually left your house to work?
Oof. Don't wish that ill on me. And almost like a familiar noise will wake you from a dream or sleep.
Yeah.
A lot of, for parents and for
kid crying, or
pet
dog
owners,
barking.
it's the dog. Mm-hmm. Like for me, it's the dog, the noise of a dog vomiting, right? And you hear that first, that guttural, and boom.
That'll wake the dead.
You can tell it from a mile away. Mm-hmm. It was very reminiscent of that as I heard a very loud rumble somewhere in my neighborhood. Now I live on a circle area, not a cul-de-sac, but my exact neighborhood. I'm not invited.
Hey, one of us here lives on a Zac.
But my subdivision is very large, much like yours. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know which direction it was coming from.
Mine's better, by the way.
So
much richer.
Listen, we talked about the gate, the butler.
I just don't want there to be any confusion.
Of course.
I really don't like your comparison of your neighborhood to my neighborhood in any way.
I put my nose to the sky. I thought, that's a 1988 Jeep Comanche in my neighborhood.
As you no doubt hear backfiring and squeaking.
So you rolled around the corner, pulled into the driveway, and there she was.
Pulled into the driveway, fingers crossed, hoping against hope that the brakes still worked. They hadn't gone out in the last half mile.
You pull in, and there's still a tire in the back with, either a... I don't even know what you call those
That's
things.
Permanent, by the way.
That's just there?
That is where the spare tire mounts.
Okay.
There's a spare tire mounted in the bed. Look.
Those Jeeps know how to make them look attractive.
I could... that's not from the factory. That's an upgrade.
Oh!
Well, normally the spare tire is underneath the bed.
Okay. Seems like a better option.
Mine won't fit. So, it's either no spare tire or a spare tire in the bed, which is okay because I'm kind of going for the pre-runner look, of course. Yeah, I've discussed this with you. numerous
There's
times.
a loose spare tire in the back.
That's not loose. It's bolted down. Bolted down.
And you pulled into the driveway, and I popped the door open, got in, and we took a spin.
We did.
Just around the neighborhood. From my vantage point, no issues.
Yeah, I mean, making a little bit of noise. It is in general, a very loud vehicle. It's this is what those of us in the truck community and the vehicle community would call a shakedown run.
Okay.
You take it for a spin and just kind of see if all the nuts and bolts are tightened, which the day before I had done the same thing, and all of the nuts and bolts were not tightened. I got one house away from my house, and it was really groaning at me. Pulled it back into the garage.
I just can't believe we're still there.
Pulled it back into the garage. Now there are 5 lug nuts per wheel.
Okay.
Total of 20 lug nuts, right? But the wheels...
My math adds up, yeah.
The wheels have spacers behind them. Mm-hmm. Those basically have 5 lug nuts each as well. So total, 40 lug nuts on the entire vehicle. Of the 40 lug nuts, more than 35 of them were loose.
Oh my God. Is this just a byproduct of it not being out very much?
No, this is a byproduct of when I was putting the whole thing together. I tightened everything down kind of hand tight because at that point the brakes didn't work. I needed the brakes in order to keep the wheels from spinning when I was tightening the lug nuts, but brakes don't work, can't tighten the lug nuts. Then I just forgot about it. So tightened up all 40 of the lug nuts again, and now we're good. So yeah, I came barreling around the corner at your house.
That does not fill me with confidence.
Pulled up into the driveway. Big grin on your face. I wish I had been recording. You had a big grin on your face.
I couldn't believe it.
Could not believe it.
I hopped in for all intents and purposes of what I care about this thing for, which is it needs to go 2 miles per hour for approximately 1 hour. Mm-hmm. It seems like it can get there, which I don't know if that's an endorsement 2 weeks out.
Look, since you've been in it, that was almost a week ago, 5 days ago, there have been numerous updates since then.
Okay. Can I ask you if there's been a certain update?
You can ask me about anything you want.
Does it still stink horribly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one might be a bit of a long-term fix.
Okay, can you pinpoint, because we got done with the ride, it was joyous, it was like a little mini endorphin rush because
look, we were waving to the fans.
There were people on their driveways, okay, and I don't know if they were getting their mail or wondering what the racket was.
They were ducking because it sounded like the town was being shelled by enemy fire.
Yeah. And we make it back, and we're on a high because at that point, parade is less than 3 weeks away at that point.
Yeah. I saw you recorded a bunch of videos.
I did.
You peppered the social media with them.
Yes, because this is exciting stuff. Not just for me, for you, for the progress of the Comanche.
Whole Steve and Kyle / Second Chance Jeeps family.
Because this is it. This is the last big thing we do.
Agreed, yeah.
I don't have any desire anymore until the next parade. Or until the next half-cocked idea. Yeah. And you drop me off, take a quick video, you backing out and peeling out of town.
Peeling out is that's being generous.
I would argue you were on 2 tires at one point. 2 wheels.
Oh, so I was doing a wheelie.
Yeah, that's how hard you ripped out of the hood.
Okay.
And I went inside, and I don't even know if I had a coat on or a sweatshirt. I went inside, took it off, went back downstairs to work. And what I thought was just a quick linger ended up being a mainstay on my body and clothes for hours. And it was the pure, unbridled, unfiltered stink of gasoline in my body.
Yeah, exhaust.
It was horrid.
Yeah.
Is there a concern that, because I told you in the car without thinking, boy, feel bad for whoever's behind us. And then you texted me like 20 minutes later and said, oh, just FYI, we're the ones behind.
Right, we're riding in a trailer.
And it was like the light bulb just got flicked on in my brain. I said, oh, crap, that is us. Right. Is there a risk that you and I are going to be recording and I'm going to look over while I'm mid-monologue about what, the 1970s Houston Rockets, and you're passed out?
I mean, look, there's
not from boredom.
There's always a possibility. I might have a fix for that. Would it be fixing it like correctly?
Yeah.
No.
Can you just like put a tube back into the cab?
I don't think that we want to kill the person.
No, we'll leave all those windows open. It's just like an extra.
Okay. It's like another filter.
Absolutely. Further away from us, which is the main goal here. And the audience will get a little bit of the feel.
What I was thinking is because the tailpipe kind of comes out the side at the back of the vehicle. Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to be right behind that. Mm-hmm. Maybe I just get a piece of exhaust pipe that's like 10 or 12 feet long. So the tailpipe comes out the side, but it just keeps going.
Okay. So, like, almost like I'm trying to figure out one of those bars that would essentially, like a street sweeper.
Yeah.
To the audience, we'd be pumping exhaust directly into the kids' candy.
I mean, we could go up
bags.
if you want. Maybe we go up so it's like a smokestack.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I have no idea if that would be street legal.
But hey, she's on the road. I've run some errands, driving the truck. I went and picked up a new freezer last week after you graciously helped me get rid of the freezer.
Mm-hmm. Again, against my will, was not made aware. Otherwise, I would have not come over.
Saw somebody ask on social media, is the freezer still available? No. That freezer was gone within 1 hour of us finishing the recording.
Perfect. I appreciate you tying that bow because we had some questions.
Everybody was asking.
And it shouldn't have been a question. The commodity that thing was and the fervor that it created among the scumbag marketplace community that had gone within an hour written all over it.
Yeah. Look, I ain't no scientist, but I know how things work.
And true to Steve form, you did not assist one instance.
Nope.
You saw the people, though?
Saw the people. I believe I actually took a picture of them and sent it to you.
Ah, yes. That's right. So you saw them. You watched them.
I did.
You watched them lift it up. Were they having trouble with it?
No, they had a small trailer. It looked like it took them... They were in the driveway for no more than 3 minutes.
Perfect.
Put it on a trailer, strapped it down, and got out of Dodge. And it worked out great. And,
okay.
So then I went, picked up a new one, brought it down. I was thinking of waiting until this morning. Yeah, maybe have it sitting on the front porch, blocking your entrance into the house. But I took care of that on my own.
Beautiful.
It's much smaller. It's about half the size of the old one. A lot smaller, a lot lighter.
Yeah. They. I tell you what, since the 70s, they've really improved on how to make those things not horridly heavy.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the Jeep Comanche, where are you in terms of street legalness?
Oh, it's 100. I mean, it's registered.
It's registered and insured, so that thing can be on the road with no issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, one of the multiple police and fire vehicles in the parade won't have cause to, mid-parade, pull us over.
No. It's got a plate. Yeah, it's. I know that there's a light bulb or two that are out that I have to go and pick up. I think I'm just going to replace every bulb on the vehicle just to be safe. But yeah, things are good. I did a little work on it yesterday. I got a new stereo in there because I had just this god-awful one that I had bought off a friend of mine almost as a joke because it was so ugly and terrible looking.
It was like it was meant for a specific car with a curved dash.
Right.
So this thing looked sunken in and just beaten down.
Yeah, but I upgraded that, so it's got front and rear speakers now. The dashboard, remember how it had all those wires hanging down underneath it when you were in it?
How could I forget?
That is all buttoned back up.
What about the light that was hitting you in the back of the head?
The light is mounted.
Okay. Functional or just up? Okay,
well,
good.
one of them is.
Okay.
The one on the passenger side works. Can't figure out why the driver's side... Look at that. See? Nice Nice modern-looking radio in there.
Yeah. Look at that. Mm-hmm. So you were the last person to buy an aftermarket CD player in the past 10 years.
Pretty much. See, there's the light. The light is mounted. Yep.
You had sent me a checklist with words that made no sense to me yesterday. How many of those things are vital to parade success?
I mean, honestly, if we needed to, as is, we could roll through the parade today.
Yeah.
But let's see. By parade day. Let me pull this up. Okay.
Oh, that's right. You did not have a functional speedometer.
Right. The speedometer cable was broken. I have a new one that will be here tomorrow. Mm-hmm. That is a simple install. That's a 15-minute install. I have to put the rear bumper on the truck, which is just a matter of 6 bolts.
Okay.
Transmission fluid needs to be changed. That's a half-hour project. Driver's side door, it's a little bit out of alignment.
Janky? Okay.
Yeah, but that, even if I don't do that, that's no problem. I have to wire up the inverter. I also have to buy the inverter.
Now that is to get power to
our
everything for us.
All of our electronics.
Okay, so of the first 5 items, so far I care about one of these.
Yeah.
And that's no offense to you in the Jeep Comanche.
None taken.
But I just simply don't care if there's a bumper because I'm not going to see it there's going to be a trailer hooked to it. Well, do we need the rear bumper to hook the hitch up to it to get the trailer onto it?
We do, actually.
Okay, so there's 2 items that I care about so far.
Mm-hmm. And we have to, I got some bare metal spots on there. I need to spray some primer on. You don't care about that, though?
Nope, definitely not.
We don't need, look, that's going to add one more color to the truck, though.
Are you serious? We're adding a 3rd or 4th color?
Yeah. 5th in some cases. Got to put the front fender flares back on, but even that doesn't need to be done.
Okay.
And this doesn't need to be done either.
Fully optional. So that's it. I didn't notice anything about exhaust on there.
No.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
So it is official. Well, I shouldn't say official. I need to get a hold of the city one more time.
I got to run something by you, though.
Please.
I revealed to Cy Nolan Ryan Young in the last week or so that he's the one driving us through the parade.
Which, again, should not have been a shocker.
Much to his surprise. He wanted to know, because he runs a company himself. Mm-hmm. Wants to know if he could get a banner hanging off the truck.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
We in for that?
Yeah, I mean, we just need...
I think small. Very small.
We need to figure out what we're going to put for our... I think we need to get... We may have duplicates of that somewhere. We need to get our stuff on there so people know what the heck this is.
Yeah.
Okay? We haven't discussed that. We need to get our logo and our faces on the truck or on the trailer. My mother brought something to light that I hadn't considered. We've been talking about having some old Christmas lights between you and I that we can muster up.
I got plenty.
Is that going to be enough? Because, again, this is going to be dark out during this parade.
Yeah.
Or do we need some type of work light? You know the kind I'm talking about, right?
I don't think we need anything like that. Because I would assume that there are
street lights.
Yeah, street lights.
I would hope so. Yeah,
and if not, even better.
Just and I in the pitch black,
just a dark, dingy trailer.
Kids trying to squint to see what that is, and then out of like the corner of their eye, Rusty pops up. Hey, kids, and hands them one of our newest editions.
Oh yeah.
$100 worth, 960.
Yeah.
Charleston Chew Juniors.
We need to...
No, I'm sorry. These aren't even Charleston Chew Juniors. These are just Charleston Chew Vanilla. Yeah, there are 8 bags.
We need to
120 apiece.
Yeah, we need to lay these out on the floor.
Yep.
Take some pictures of them.
So just so you're aware, if you are willing, and we have an event on Facebook for us. Please! I'm not going to turn down a Chucky. See, of Steve and Kyle's Parade Cast. It is again for your planning purposes. It is on Saturday, November 19. 6 p.m. in downtown Hudsonville. Now, if you don't know what that is, trust me, it is not big enough for you to be concerned about. You're going to be heading in a direction. You might even see a sign that says Hudsonville. Just go that way. Mm-hmm. You cannot miss it. Mm-hmm. There are a couple streets. It's called the main street you're going to be looking for is Harvey Street. Mm-hmm. Harvey Street is going to be one of the main areas this parade is going around. It's a different route this year at 6 p.m. in downtown Hudsonville. I know I'm giving out all those details. when I really don't even have verification that we're in it, Steve.
Well, we're going to be there.
We are showing up. Whether I get a confirmation email or not,
we're there.
We are going to be prepping in the preparation area that they list on their website. We're going.
All right. So we'll see you there on the 19th. All right. The holidays just mere weeks away.
Hold the phone.
What?
Are we prepared with our music for this?
Oh, what is the music?
Oh, my God. Every year we have this same conversation because I always forget it. And I can guarantee you I know who produced it. It's our friend Kevin MacLeod.
Yeah, what is it called?
Christmas Wrap?
Christmas Wrap. Hold on.
Is that correct?
Let me see. Oh, I know that I have it somewhere.
I can filibuster here. I am very excited for this year. I was getting it ready last night. Well, not getting anything ready, but getting a document ready that you and I use to track everything going on. That's right, Steve. It is upon us. The solstice season is nearly here.
The most wonderful time of the year, they call it.
No question. And with that comes our annual gift exchange, Steve.
6th annual?
Seventh annual Steve and Kyle podcast Cloak and Dagger non-denominational winter solstice gift exchange.
Hey.
It's here.
We made it. Another year.
This is exciting stuff. We do this every year where it's a secret solstice gift exchange between you and another listener of this podcast. If you're new to listening, we recommend anywhere between the money is not the idea of it here. $10 to $20. We don't want the Michael Scott giving an iPod episode of The Office situation.
Yeah,
if we can avoid it. Podcast related, that's fine. I love seeing the gifts that are locality related. So if you live in a small town that has a soda manufacturer or a chip company, throwing that in a box and sending it to someone who otherwise may never ever know about that.
Yeah, what's your town known for?
I love that type of stuff. Love seeing these roll in. All we need from you, if you want to take part, 2 things. One is your name and address. That's the easy part. The second one is a promise to not be a dick.
Yeah.
We have not had, I don't think, Stephen, and I may have pushed it out of my brain, I don't believe we've had anybody no-show. We have had a few, and this happens every year, where either you or I copy down an address incorrectly, or post office doesn't get it or
does
loses
what they do.
It.
Josh Reed.
And some things will get lost or delayed. I know that has happened in the past. Mm-hmm. To a degree, there's only so much we can help to make this thing go as smooth as it does. I would think 6 years in to only have that happen, once or twice, pretty impressive.
We're doing all right.
So that's all I need from you. If you want to take part, you can send us a message right now. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you don't know our handles, I don't know how you're listening to this show.
At Steve and Kyle everywhere.
Everywhere. Just DM us your name and address. Don't post it in a comment. 1, I don't want that posted out there publicly for no reason. And 2, good chance that gets lost. The DMs are always going to be there, and I'm going to see they're not going to get lost in a flurry of likes and whatever. Mm-hmm. So please send us your name and your address. I'm looking at you, long-time listeners. I'm looking at you, first-timers. Mm-hmm. Okay? We want to make this, and I know we say it every year.
And every year we have so far.
And
so if we don't this year...
This is the first year I'm really nervous. I
don't think it's your fault.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not going to give out the number. I don't want to. Because I don't want... when the final happens and somebody messages us and says, hey, what was your final number? I don't want to admit it if we're going to miss it by a long shot. Yeah. At Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I will make a post about that if to help remind you to send us a message. We're going to leave this open. I would think the last weekend in November or maybe the 1st of December.
Yeah.
So you will have essentially 3 weeks from the 1st of December until the solstice. You'll have your name and address. You just need to ship out your gift.
Yeah. Once we cut off submissions, you will then receive a message back the same way that you sent us your message. So if you sent us on Facebook, we'll reply to you on Facebook.
Yep.
We will send you back a message saying, thanks for joining.
Yep.
Here is the person you've been paired up with. Now, again, this is a cloak and dagger. This is some call it secret. We call it cloak and dagger. Mm-hmm. You don't need to tell the person. You don't need to announce who you got.
Right.
It's all part of the fun.
Yeah. If after the fact you want to, feel free.
All we ask is that you find a gift in the $10 range, maybe up to $20 max. Mm-hmm. Get it in the mail as soon as possible, because with everything going on this time of year, obviously shipping times are a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
So just try to get it on the way as early as possible. Leave some kind of note in there to say, hey, happy Cloak and Dagger, winter solstice, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, that is it's a fun little way to bring all of our listeners together this time of year.
Yeah, and us mentioning $10 to $20 range, if you have a craft of your own, maybe you make stuff, you knit, you do whatever, feel free. Personalized gifts, all the better. Don't feel like you have to be going to, Amazon or wherever else to buy a gift for these for your gift receiver.
Yeah.
Please make this your own. Have fun with it. Do whatever you want. You can start thinking about your gifts now. Again, podcast-related things that have come up over the past year. Always love seeing those. Again, the Steve and Kyle Podcast, non-denominational Cloak and Dagger Winter Solstice Gift Exchange. 7th year officially kicking off here on the podcast. I am excited. I love this stuff. I love watching the images roll in.
I love seeing the pictures.
It is my favorite thing when we get those. And usually it's the month of December, and I'll retweet them all because I love them so much. Got my garbage merch. Mm-hmm. We encourage everybody to post with hashtag garbage merch. And if you're so inclined, you can buy a gift of Steve and Kyle garbage merch at steveandkyle.com/merch and give that person who you receive a gift they will never, ever use.
All right, let's wrap up this episode going over some polls from the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
Time to see how wrong everyone else is. It's poll recap time. Find the polls at Steve and Kyle on Twitter.
Thank you, Melissa.
Can you critique a kid's birthday party?
Absolutely.
Did we do these already?
No.
Okay, good. 94% of the audience said yes.
Yeah, come on. I was just doing you a service.
Shocking amount of dickheadery in this audience.
But look, you can't argue. I mean, that's...
Can't you? Would only a jerk put a buffet on an island? 54% of the audience said yes.
What?
You were upset about the pizza rotation.
Yeah, I was thinking island, like desert island. Yeah.
Is Steve a voice for the voiceless?
Yep.
74% of the audience said yes. I don't think they've ever met you. Should you rent a soda fountain for the party?
Yeah.
56% of the audience. Apparently we're in a mood that week because they agree with you and say yes. Is Steve the big fish? 69% of the audience said yes.
Thank you.
I hooked you to get on that roof. You're the big fish.
Oh, yeah.
Just dabbling, just dropping that worm in the pond, and then the big fish came swimming by.
Chuck E. C, by the way.
I mean, I'm busy reading here. We have 960 Charleston chews for this parade. It's a graveyard of rappers.
Do you think we get to the parade with more than
900? It's
I was
2
going to
weeks
say
away.
850.
I hope so. I texted you just to put it. Obviously, people aren't used to parade planning. So in my mind, I almost wanted to shoot another, like a small business in town, a message. How much candy do you buy? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if this is enough. I don't know if it's way too much. When poor Rusty is out of Chuck E. C's whipping them at children.
Yeah.
That's it, kids. Sorry.
Well, that's his problem.
Do kids like roller skating parties? 62% of the audience said yes. Do you rank the failures at kids' birthday parties? Again, I don't know what was going on in our audience this week. 79% of the audience said yes. If you don't love a peanut, get out of America?
Oh, that's a question?
63% of the audience said yes. Can you cut candy corn with a peanut? 52% of the audience said no. I have a feeling that's a long, lingering candy corn divide in our country, and
Probably.
obviously a microcosm here with our audience, just in general, not wanting the candy corn part of that. Are you a ride or die in the CCC?
What was the CCC?
The Candy Corn Clan. I immediately ripcorded that because don't want to be associated with 3 of the same letter in a row.
Yeah.
And especially the last one.
How's AAA get away with it?
Yeah. Well, how did the CCC get away with it?
Oh, probably because it's AAA. Like if you said Triple C, you're a little bit better.
Are you ride or die in the Triple C? 56% of the audience said yes. Have some candy corners out there. Does Dick Head, the owner of Dick Head Appliances, flick his cigarette at a baby?
What the hell?
93% of the audience said yes.
What do we do on this podcast?
If it plugs in and purrs, does it work? 90% of the audience said yes.
Sure.
Is semi-honesty the key in any giveaway? 76% of the audience said yes.
Talking about the freezer, no doubt.
If you're not locking your meat up, do you even care?
No.
88% of the audience said no. Once you go ooga, do you ever go back?
Oh, how did I not add that to the list of things that need to be done?
Yeah, put that at the top. Put that above bumper. Put that above inverter.
So, ooga.
Ooga. By the way, this is so funny that you drove the Jeep over. We're trumpeting that as a big win. We have no power to run the podcast, which is the only reason we're doing this at this point.
Yeah.
This is total outside perspective. There is a 25% chance this somehow doesn't work. We're dealing with a 1988 Jeep Comanche that stinks of gasoline and exhaust.
Look.
We're hooking up a trailer that we don't have in our presence right now. To that, we're going to be running hundreds of feet of extension cord and power cables to run a podcast in a trailer. We don't have chairs. We don't have anything ready for that, let alone have power for it. If this, I'm now nervous again. There's a 40% chance overall this happens. That's how nervous I am now. 76% of the audience said no. Once you go ooga, you can never go back. Those are the polls.
All right. Well, that was fun.
A delight.
Absolute delight.
Again, details are on our Facebook page for the Parade Cast 2022.
Yeah, click on the events tab.
It's on the events tab. I did just re-share it a little bit ago over the weekend. You should be able to see it there. If not, Hudsonville Holiday Parade. It's not that hard to find. HudsonvilleEvents.com if that's easier for you.
Look, if you show up and you have garbage merch on, you're getting at least 3 Chuck E. C's from our buddy Rusty. Apologize. Our buddy Seasonal Sammy.
I think you should come on the trailer with us. If you're wearing merch, we'll interview you.
I don't know about that.
We don't even know if we're in the parade. Do you think we can bring people into the parade?
I was going to say, can we have a guest spot set up?
Amazing.
At Steve and Kyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We will talk to you next week. See ya.